Well, and welcome to another game of Littlewargame. Today is between two people we've seen before, so without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce them. Today on the map, Silent Fjord. On the bottom left hand side, spawning with the red pieces. Don't like where this is going. It is JAwesome. Technically JAwesome1, but you know, JAwesome. And on the top right hand side, with the blue pieces on Silent Fjord, it is our man, Langweilig. Now, for a second, I thought I was once again casting a game of consciously eating. But, checking out the name, it is JAwesome. I highly doubt that they are account sharing, so I'll take it for what it is. But he might be attempting to play from his book. So I'm going to be interested to see where this is going, as there is a Rex being built at this main base. So I'm curious what he's going to proxy here. It's gonna be a proxy den, okay. For a single den opening for Langweilig, there's a proxy den and a barracks for JAwesome. I haven't seen this before, this is going to be very interesting. Maybe he's oh god, okay, well 3 wolves for Langweilig at the exact same time. Interesting, doesn't have to look at that one for a little while. But I guess it's going to be wolves from this den and maybe going for, yeah, archers for a little bit of ranged attack in there as well. To get a more spread out DPS area. Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see where this is going. But until then, I'm going to run through some stats of these guys as the wolf runs past the wolf den and is probably not going to check out this worker quite yet. Maybe if it's going to be here, it'll scout the worker, so I'll keep an eye on that. But yes, these two players are relatively equally matched, I want to say. There is a little bit of an MMR difference. I did not check the amount of games played, however, so I'm not entirely sure how accurate the MMR is. But both of these players, yeah, it does see the worker. I don't think Langweilig actually spotted the worker with his wolf. Well, he spotted the worker with his wolf, but I don't think he was actually looking over here, so I don't think he knows that there is some fishy stuff going on. But yeah, they are both in Division 2. Langweilig has, at the time of this recording, 1518 MMR, and JAwesome has 1341. So there is a little bit of a gap there, but once again, I'm not entirely sure how accurate those measurements are. But one is more in like the middle, top middle-ish of Div 2, which is Langweilig, and JAwesome is a little bit more on the bottom end. Still, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. This is a ranked game, so this is for MMR, so if JAwesome manages to take the victory, that would have been a major boost to his MMR rankings. But we'll see where that heads up, or if Langweilig is just going to extend his lead when it comes to the 1v1. Having that said though, overall they have played 2 games before this one, ranked that is, which is a 1-in-1 ranking so far, so when it comes to the games, they are pretty equal indeed. As this is going to be a tricky situation, trying to take down the worker before the watchtower pops up does not happen, and he now needs to be careful from this watchtower. Might be able to take out this house, but I expect that to be pretty well defended as well. It can be repaired relatively easily, so I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be able to be dealt with relatively quickly. Of course, does not want to get too close. Has to deal with the wolves, push him back a little bit, but this watchtower is obviously in range when he gets too close, so it's gonna be a tricky situation. But yeah, these two players are 1-1 when it comes to the head-on-head ranking. That was not a great move from JAwesome, losing that wolf pretty much for free. But when it comes to the map, it is 1-0 for JAwesome. If I saw that correctly. So that's going to be interesting. Sometimes I get a little bit confused when it comes to some of the scores, like how it's shown on the leaderboards. So it might be 1-0 on Silent Fjord for Langweilig, but I'm pretty sure it's JAwesome. Don't quote me on that though, I'm not entirely sure. I'm starting to doubt myself during this cast. But nonetheless, it is relatively close between these two. Having that said though, when it comes to the income, Langweilig is very much ahead, as there is no second base from a player in the red, and obviously there is one for the player in the blue. When it comes to the production capabilities, there is more production. Actually, it is relatively the same, but I feel like these wolves are going to be able to run over this army relatively quickly if he manages to get a few decent engagements. This watchtower definitely wants to be able to make use of it. Some of these shots taken down two of the wolves, some very nice extra DPS. This house is still being repaired, so not really anything that JAwesome is doing here is having lasting effects, apart from this worker obviously needing to be used for the repairs. But there's going to be a surround on one of these archers. It's going to be taken down, some more damage going to be taken. Wolves are running relatively low, but they will regenerate some health, so he just needs to bide some extra time. At the same time though, as you can see, snakes have been added, and there has been a snake charmer made, so Langweilig can start to get himself some range DPS in there as well, just like JAwesome. So I highly doubt, even though that there's not a lot of army left for a player in the blue, and that he's going to be relatively well set once they do roll out. JAwesome, in the meantime, getting himself a natural base while he is taking down the worker that was repairing this house. Langweilig is making a second watchtower, and I believe once this watchtower is going to be completed, that there's not a lot more that JAwesome can do apart from trying to contain our player in the blue. But I highly doubt that it's going to be extremely effective. Having that said, when it comes to the worker count, it is twice as many workers for a player in the blue, Langweilig having double the income. The units lost is not that big of a difference, it's approximately 150 in favor of JAwesome, but if you look at the mined resources, he's 1100 behind. So he's effectively like 900 gold behind on Langweilig, which is not a great position to be in. As you can see, the entire production line over here is being filled. There's another den being constructed, there's another house being constructed. To gain more supply. As you can see, it's 46 versus 40 supply. Not a great position for JAwesome to be in. It's going to slowly catch up with two workers at the exact same time. But this is going to be enough though. The army of Langweilig is slowly increasing. And once again, once this den pops up and with the extra income, I feel like it's going to be a matter of time before it actually starts to overrun JAwesome's army. 2 watchtowers in total, second one has been completed. Some nice extra few shots have been shot to the army, and right now I feel like JAwesome is very close to being overrun by all of these wolves. Obviously 3 of these wolves are very close to dying, but yeah, the third den is kicking in gear, while he is also making a third. I feel like Langweilig has the advantage here. Obviously, this is not the best engagement that he could have had, but if you can lure the army into the watchtowers just a little bit, then that would be great. Like I said, not the best engagements, but he can pretty much afford those engagements. He's 1400 gold ahead, only 200 approximately behind in the Lost Army, so pretty much 1200 gold ahead when it comes to the total economy. Hence, having a third almost pop up. This wolf is going to scout the third, though it seems like it, so JAwesome does see in the predicament that he's in, more snakes are also being introduced, 2 more being built at the exact same time. This is going to be overrun relatively quickly. There is no more army tanking it from the archers. All of the wolves have been slain. In the meantime, a workshop has been going up for JAwesome. Is that going to be enough though? There's only 1 Rex and 1 workshop. Might be able to do something. Adding catapults to this army, maybe. Getting the catapults to deal some damage to these snakes is going to be a great move from him, but these archers are not making it Langweilig that easy. Obviously, it still has the wolf den over here to produce some wolves as well, but it's going to be curious for how long this is going to stay there. These archers, though, deal quite the damage. They are going to be able to be hunted down by the wolves, though, so eventually I feel like this is going to be taken down. Snakes are not dealing damage to the archers, so it's not the best position for these wolves to be in, but the 3rd has been made. Workers are being transferred. The economy was slightly moving to the same levels of JAwesome, but that is only because the workers were transferring. Because as you see, the workers are starting to actually do the work. He's once again 300 gold per minute ahead. Mined almost 2,000 gold more, and once again, the units lost is not that big of a difference. Or at least the gold lost is not that big of a difference. It will definitely sway into his favor, I think, once he takes down this wolf den. Not entirely sure how expensive the wolf den is, but this wolf is going to be taken down, which is a very easy pickup. And then also this den is going to be taken down, so it's going to be very close. And then once again, he is 2,000 gold behind, which is not a position that he wants to be in. Only 1 catapult so far at this army. Is it going to be enough? I highly doubt it, because there are quite a few wolves over here ready to run straight into the catapult's face and surround it and deal some damage. 2nd catapult enters the fray, so Langweilig does have to be a little bit careful, but in the meantime he is going to make a 4th. It is a little bit out there, not a very easy spot to guess a 4th being, because it is so wide open of an attack path for JAwesome. It's not really that easily defendable from a player in the blue, but it is a risk probably well worth taking. The 2 catapults are going to deal the damage here. This might not be the best move if he sees the workers going down. No, he does not. That is actually pretty nice. He might actually be able to keep that expansion pretty safe. In the meantime, though, a nice counter-attack from a player in the blue is going to run into this gold line. Nothing that he can pretty much do. The workers are being surrounded. He can, as he does, click on the gold mine, which phases the workers through the entire army there. But the workers, once again, are still just all going to die. 5 workers in total, or 7 workers in total, have been going down for just 5 of Langweilig. But if you look at the total worker count, he's still twice as many workers, and 500 to 700 gold per minute ahead. His 3rd does get killed, but he has a spare 3rd in the bottom. And in the meantime, Langweilig is just wreaking havoc inside the main base. JAwesome himself also has a 3rd, but he does not have the workers to properly occupy them. And in the meantime, all of these wolves are probably just going to run into these archers. Here's 1 soldier kind of keeping the wolves at bay, but this, it's not going to be a great position for Langweilig. These archers doing a great job at actually taking down everything, and these 2 catapults from behind just dealing massive damage to all of it. Langweilig, not the best position to be in when it comes to the defense, and at the offense as well, it has been taken down. Having that said though, I feel like he's going to be able to defend over here. Workers are going to surround the catapults, nowhere that they can go. Not a great position for JAwesome. These will all be taken down for relatively free, trying to move the catapults away from each other to still deal some damage to the units attacking them, but this catapult is not going to be able to do anything, and the entire offense of JAwesome is going to be cleaned up. 4 soldiers and 2 catapults, 5 soldiers and 2 catapults are the entire army for JAwesome, all at his base, and 8 wolves still remaining from Langweilig. But as you can see, there is an animal testing lab. The 1 attack upgrade is almost completed, and there are also 2 dragon lairs. The first 2 dragons do manage to pop out. There is absolutely nothing that JAwesome has to actually take down these dragons. He does have 2 barracks, and he does have a forge, which is... it has completed 1 armor upgrade, which is very nice for the soldiers of JAwesome, which the soldiers are very nice versus the wolves of Langweilig. But, as you can see, there is nothing in production right now against any possible attack from the sky. 2 more dragons are about to pop out, and he is keeping the dragons at his own base, which is a very nice move. But there is 1 soldier trying to do a discovery. He's rebuilding his 4th, or actually rebuilding the 3rd, which is now his 4th. So that's going to be an interesting situation. I kind of want to see if our player in the red, JAwesome, is actually going to spot the dragon with his soldier. He did manage to get a bird, also sees that there is no expansion at the usual place where you would expect an expansion, as JAwesome himself as well has gotten his 3rd, so he might be like, oh well, maybe I'm in a decent position. Probably expects this base to be back up, as he is moving a soldier back there again as well. But now he knows that there are dragons. Now he knows in the predicament he is in. Dragons with the 1 attack upgrade deal tons of damage. These wolves in the meantime trying to surround his catapults. A lot of damage being dealt. These soldiers are going to be taken down by the fireballs of the dragons. There is an advanced workshop, but there is no ballistas being made. Archers will be too late. The ballista is going to be too late. I feel like these 4 dragons, or 5 dragons actually, and I assume, yes, there is dragon number 6, that there is nothing that JAwesome is going to be able to do, because these 6 dragons will just wreak havoc and take down anything that JAwesome can do before it even gets a chance to counter all of it. And yes, indeed, JAwesome GG's out, and Langweilig will take the victory. And JAwesome indeed says the importance of scouting, as he did not see anything in the main base. So he did not spot the dragon's lair, and he also didn't spot this base, even though he did try to figure it out over there. Did indeed not scout a lot. It's almost like I'm watching a game of my own. And these dragons definitely taking the victory into Langweilig's position. If you look at the economy though, it's not that insane. Obviously this is being blown up now because everything has been demolished of Langweilig, or not Langweilig, JAwesome. But I expect it to be relatively heavily favored in Langweilig's favor, especially after this fight. But also he mined 4,000 more gold, and that is just absolutely devastating. That is very hard to come back off. So, the importance of mining, the importance of scouting, and also the importance of good engagements, as both of these players, especially Langweilig, did not have the best engagements, but also JAwesome was a little bit too greedy with his archers and catapults over here. Having that said though, GG well played. Very well done. I enjoyed the game, it was very nice. Just under 15, or exactly 14 minutes and 30 seconds, which is very nice to see. That pleases the brain. But yeah, that does mean that Langweilig takes the 2-1 lead when it comes to the ranked score between these two. So, very nice. That does indicate the MMR difference between these two as well. I'm not entirely sure if that is the difference, but I have a feeling that the economy is one of them. And once again, you can see JAwesome has higher APM, but not the higher skill. At least in this game. So, only leaves me with the usual things to say, and that is I appreciate both of you for sharing the replay with us to enjoy and learn. And obviously, to everyone watching, I appreciate you dropping by. I hope you enjoyed this cast. And if you did, feel free to hit the like button and let me know in the comments, or let these players know in the Littlewargame chat or the Discord what you thought of the match yourself. And if you do not want to miss any of the future games, then obviously feel free to subscribe as well, as I think that this Sunday, this is being recorded the same weekend as the Littlewargame Pro League 6 starts. So yeah, it's going to be a few weeks of intense games, and I hope that there are plenty of good replays coming out of that one. So if you do not want to miss any of those either, and of course plenty of other casts as well, then feel free to hit the subscribe button as well. And of course, good luck and have fun in any of the games that you yourself are going to play. If that's going to be Littlewargame or any other game, I hope you're going to have some fun. And that's going to be it. So, until next time, have a great day, my dudes.